This is the Aftermarket Radio Network. It's your weekly blitz with Chris, keeping you in the game.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I hope you're crushing life today. And if you're not, then I challenge you to overcome any and all obstacles and make today yours. Coach Chris Cotton here from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching, where we work hard to support you in both your auto repair shop success and your personal success. As you get into today's episode, I know you know someone in your network who can benefit from today's topic. Please take time to share it personally with them or through your social network if you think it's something that those in your circle of influence can benefit from. And as always, if you have an idea for a show topic or just want to talk, feel free to get with me, Chris at AutoFixSOS.com. Let's get started with episode 63, Leadership Gold, Defining Moments Define Your Leadership. First, before we get started with that, I want to ask you real quick, how did your application exercises from last week go? Did you try the mentoring moment? If so, I'd love to hear about it. Feel free to drop me an email and let me know how it's going, okay? I hope everybody's getting a lot of great information out of this. Getting into chapter 3, Defining Moments Define Your Leadership. In the book, Maxwell starts out with a quote by Winston Churchill, and it says, "In every age, there comes a time when a leader must come forward to meet the needs of the hour. Therefore, there is no potential leader who does not have an opportunity to make a positive difference in society. Tragically, there are times when a leader does not rise to the hour." Have you ever, after the fact, looked back at a moment in business life, wherever, where you've gone back and said, "Oh, I wished I would have done something differently," or there was a high road and a low road, and for whatever, you can define those differently however you want, just two different roads, maybe I should say a left road and a right road. And so instead of taking the left road, you took the right road, and you wish you would have went back. Depending on the importance of the situation, though, that's a defining moment. So we start out today with, how will you be defined? In Maxwell's book, I think it's the 21 Irrefutable Laws of Leadership, it says, leadership develops daily, not in a day. This is something you have to work on every day as you move through life. Again, I think a lot of shop owners and a lot of people that contact me about this think that I'm going to be able to give them one class and snap my fingers and be like, poof, you're a leader. It just doesn't work that way. And that's why I decided to do this book series and keep moving through. Hopefully by the time we're done with this, you'll have worked on it for all these weeks. Like, we're working on this for half a year, people. Like, we are going to work on this continually and keep moving forward. Also in this chapter, he starts talking about defining moments show us who we really are. Most days in our lives, they come and go. They're the same as any other day. Most of the times they don't stand out. But every once in a while, you get a day that's unlike all others or unlike any others. And those days stand out because they give us an opportunity to stand up and set ourselves apart from the rest of the crowd. And you have to be brave to do that. Like, if you have a shop full of guys and you're trying to change the culture and 3 of them are talking negative about the other one is not there, if you sit and listen to that and don't call them out on it, then you're not seizing that moment. And maybe that's when you took the right road instead of the left road. You're the bar. You're the standard bearer. You have to set this up, okay? You have to step in and seize that moment. And it may suck. Like, depending on how your technicians are that day and you get on them, you may lose one. But you know what? As fearful as everybody is about losing technicians and everybody else, you need to get over it and do what's best for your business. Like, the fear of losing anything or the fear of this, the fear of that should not control your life, right? Fear is just a mindset. That's all it is. Gosh, I wish that thought just came to me, and I wish I'd have wrote this note down. Piper came home from college, and we watched the movie Winchester, which we just happened to be in California a couple of weeks ago, and saw the Winchester house there. But in that movie, the psychologist or psychiatrist talks about fear and how it's all in your mind and how you have to overcome it. But anyway, sorry, that's a weird aside. But again, do you stand out from the crowd? Do you seize that moment? Or do you remain sitting with the rest of the crowd and let the moment pass? All of these moments, for better or worse, define us and define who we are. They show us exactly what we're really made of. And oftentimes we focus on the milestones in life, the important events, accomplishments, but some of our defining moments come as a total surprise, like out of the blue, and they often appear during times of crisis. So if I think of a couple of those, or in the book he lists these, when facing a personal failure, when taking a stand on an issue, when experiencing suffering, when being asked to forgive, do you carry that as a burden and say no? And then making unpleasant and unpopular choices. Sometimes during those moments, we can sense the importance of our actions in that moment. And then we see both paths, the left and the right path. And in other times, our defining moments occur and we don't see them for what they are. Only afterward, when time has passed and we look back, do we understand their importance. Either way, they define who we are. AutoLeap is a cloud-based all-in-one auto repair software that helps to keep complete track of your business, from scheduling appointments to managing technicians to generating invoices. Supercharge your growth with AutoLeap. Customers that fully adopt AutoLeap see the following benefits in their first year: 30% revenue growth, with top customers seeing over 100% growth, 75% decrease in no-shows, allowing you to service more customers, 3 times increase in positive Google reviews, leading to stronger online presence, 50% time saved on administrative tasks, driving increase in operational efficiency. Do it all with AutoLeap. Key features and functions include estimates, invoices, scheduling, Google reviews, inspections, communication, QuickBooks, reporting. Get in touch with AutoLeap to see how you can transform your auto repair shop. For a limited time, if you schedule a demo, sign up with AutoLeap and they will waive the $250 implementation fee. I can sit back and think about several defining moments in my life when I chose the left road or the right road. I think Dr. Phil says that typically most people have 10 defining moments in their personal life. And I think that's probably true. One time in particular I can think about, and if I think back about it, it was probably up until now, the most defining moment in my life. Sorry, it brings back a lot of memories. And I love you guys, but I don't know if I'm ready to share this publicly. So anyway, in my mind, it brings back a moment when I chose something, when I chose to take whichever path. And I think about that decision every day. Like every day of my life, I've thought about it. And I'm almost 50, and I'm assuming at this point I'll think about it every day till the day that I die. It was something that happened to me. I had the opportunity in the moment to share with somebody else, a person in authority, and I chose not to. Actually, it changed a lot of lives, me making that decision, I think. So anyway, sorry. So this takes us into the next thing, like defining moments declare to others who we are. Most days we can wear the masks and hide who we are from the people around us. During defining moments, you can't do that. Your person means nothing. In that moment, your inner person comes out, for better or for worse. And at that point, it doesn't matter how you've marketed yourself. Your image means nothing. Only what matters is what you do in that moment. And whatever is truly inside us is revealed to everyone at that moment. And our character isn't made during those times, is what Maxwell says. It's displayed. And I always kind of thought of it the other way. I thought those moments made our character, but really when I think about it, it's not. Like the character that we use in the moment is what's displayed, and that's what is opened out to everybody. So for leaders, defining moments tell the people following them many of the things they really want to know, who their leaders are, what they stand for, and why they're leading. If you handle those times well in those defining moments, those defining moments can cement the relationship and the bond with the followers, oftentimes forever. But if you handle those poorly, a defining moment can cost a leader their credibility and even their ability to lead. So big stuff. There's a lot of stuff, several things in my mind that have come up that are distracting me a little bit, but those moments are out there, right? So number 3 in this section, defining moments determine who we will become. And the moment I was kind of referencing earlier happened when I was 5 or 6. So at that point, I don't think I had much character to make the decision that I made. It was way above my level and pay grade at the time. But it's that moment has defined the person I am today. And it's also defined the way I handle people and handle those around me and my feelings on things. After those moments happen, you'll never be the same person after one of those defining moments. Somehow in your inner being, in your inner core, you'll be moved. You might be moved forward, you might be moved backwards, but you're going to be moved one way or another. And why is that? Typically, it's because defining moments are not normal, and what's normal doesn't work in those times. Like you have to have something extraordinary to get through those moments. When we talk about defining your moments, leaders become better leaders when they experience a defining moment and respond to it correctly. So anytime a leader experiences a breakthrough, it allows the people who follow them to also benefit. The difficulty with defining moments is that you don't get to choose them. You can't sit down with your calendar and say, next Tuesday at 8 a.m., I'm going to have a defining moment. And you can't control when they come. However, you can choose how you handle them when they do come, and you can take steps to prepare for them. And I'm going to go through the steps now. Number one, you reflect on the defining moments from the past. It's said that those who do not study history are destined to repeat its mistakes. That statement applies in the original context to a nation or culture, but it also applies to individuals and their personal histories. The best teacher for a leader is evaluated experience. To predict how you will handle defining moments in the future, look at the ones from your past. And during our application exercises, we're going to talk about that just a little bit. Number two, prepare for defining moments in the future. And the best way to prepare for defining moments in the future is to think about a set of rules or statements and think about how you would act in that moment. And I'm going to list those out here in just a second. And then I also want you to keep these in mind because, again, we're going to be using these in the application exercises. So I'm just going to list the word and then talk about the action. Attitude. I will choose and display the right attitudes daily. Priorities. I will determine and act upon important priorities daily. Health, I will know and follow healthy guidelines daily. Family, I will communicate with and care for my family daily. Thinking, I will practice and develop good thinking daily. Commitment, I will make and keep proper commitments daily. Finances, I will earn and properly manage finances daily. Faith, I will deepen and live out my faith daily. Relationships, I will initiate and invest in solid relationships daily. Generosity, I will plan for and model generosity daily. Values, I will embrace and practice good values daily. Growth, I will desire and experience improvements daily. And you can come up with your own set of words and guidelines. But if you think about these, if you keep them top of mind, if you printed that list out, if you thought about that every day, my guess is you wouldn't have to wrestle with those issues during a defining moment. It would already be part of who you are and part of what you're doing. Those things are already settled. And then that way it gives you freedom to focus on your situation and make decisions based on them. Okay. Number three, make the most of defining moments in the present. Now that you're cognizant of it and you're going to be looking for defining moments every day, you're going to be in a better position to make the most of them. And I need you to remember that after we experience one, we are never the same again. The kind of change we experience depends on how we respond to the moments. Many of them present us with opportunities, but with opportunities come risks. And I don't want you to be risk aversive or be afraid to take them. It is in a moment of risk that the greatest leaders are often born, right? When I talk about leadership and I'm talking with shop owners, one thing that I want them to do is I want them to make sure that they empower all the people in the business to make a decision and not let processes and procedures be so rigid that it doesn't let us take care of a customer. I want somebody in the business to make an excellent decision, follow through on the decision, and then after the fact, in a coaching or mentoring moment, we can talk about how you as an owner would have handled that situation and how you might have done it differently, but also praise those people for the fact that they made a decision, they stuck to it, and then moved it forward. We don't ever want to be stuck in limbo. I hate processes and procedures that go against customer service. I hear about it all the time. Just crazy stuff like, oh, we don't do this that way, or we don't do it this way, or we're not allowed to do it that way. Take care of the customer first, and then we'll figure it out. I believe that if I keep growing, I keep seeking opportunities, and I keep taking risks, then I will continue to experience the defining moments. If I keep making the good choices and I'm always trying to do things that benefit the people and the movements, then my leadership will continue to be redefined to grow and to improve. And really, that's what life's about. And when that happens, everybody wins. You win as a person, the people around you win, and then your business wins. And so that takes us into the application exercises for this lesson. Number 1, what is your track record? I want you to think back and look back on your life and the decisions you've made at critical moments. What kinds of defining moments have you experienced in the past? First of all, I want you to write down as many as you can remember. Leave a little space below it. And then I want you, for each one, to describe the situation, describe your decision or response, and then write down your result. And I want you to do that for each one that you've listed. And then once you get done, I want you to go back and look, have your responses been generally good or bad? Is there a common denominator for the poor choices? If other people around you are familiar with those situations and you have the courage, ask those closest, to you to get their opinion about your mistakes. If you see a pattern, what is it and how can you address it so that you don't make similar poor choices in the future? Number 2, how are you managing your decisions? And I'm going to read through it again, I guess, just to make the point. So we had the list that I read out earlier, or how can you create another list to pattern those things? Maybe I won't read the whole list, but create a list of choices you'll make based on your values and priorities. And that goes to the one that I read earlier. Attitude, I will choose and display the right attitudes daily. Priorities, I will determine and act upon important priorities daily. If you want the whole list, you can rewind and listen to that part again. What is your blueprint for making decisions? And put that in your DNA and hold it close. That way you have the set or standard. Okay. Post that list where you'll see it every morning or every day on your desk. Review the list daily for a month, and then manage your moment to moment decisions based on your choices. Number 3, how prepared are you for future defining moments? As you face each day, try to be alert to the kinds of defining moments leaders typically face. And there's 4 of them. Groundbreakers, opportunities to do something new. Heartbreakers, opportunities to reevaluate priorities. Cloud breakers, opportunities for a clear vision. Chart breakers, opportunities to go to a new level. And then think about how those decisions and those defining moments fit into those 4 categories and how you make the most out of those opportunities. And finally, that brings us to our mentoring moment for the week. I hope some of you guys and gals out there, or folks as we'll call everybody, are using the application exercises. And I don't expect you to do both, the application exercises and the mentoring moment. Let's work on you. And then you can go into working on your crews. But if you have a good handle on that weekly topic and you're ready to go for the mentoring moment, knock yourself out. Again, I would love to hear about how those are going. And just realize that sometimes those mentoring moments are painful. They're hard to listen to. They're cringeworthy. But the more and more of those you do, the better you'll be. Okay? So the mentoring moment for this week is the way emerging leaders handle opportunities in crisis often define them as well. I want you to ask the people you're mentoring to describe how they've handled similar moments and to explain how and why they made decisions during those moments. And then once you get done with that, ask how others might define them as a leader based on those actions. If your perception of how it defines them is different from theirs, then explain it. Feel free to share it with them. Again, it shouldn't be heated. It's just a discussion to make everybody better. If you've observed other defining moments in their leadership path that they're unaware of, point them out and then discuss it and talk through it. Okay? I really hope you guys are enjoying this one, and I really hope you're getting a lot out of it. Okay? This has been Coach Chris Cotton from AutoFix-Auto Shop Coaching. If you find yourself struggling in your auto repair business or have a feeling like you don't know what you don't know, but you're eager to learn and grow your business, then please feel free to reach out to me, chris@autofixsos.com, or give me a call at 940-400-1008. Time to get out and rise and grind, everybody. Have a great day.
You've been listening to the Weekly Blitz with Coach Chris Cotton on the AftermarketRadioNetwork.com. Follow Chris on your favorite podcast listening app. Let him know what you'd like him to cover. His email is in the show notes. Chris is all for advancing the aftermarket.